Hey guys, I know it's been a minute, and by a minute I mean 2 years, but yeah, sorry about that. But that's not what today's video is about. And yeah, I actually have done quite a bit with the base, with the starter base, and by that I mean I finished it. But that's also not what this video is about. So if you want to see a tour of that and the rest of the world, 7 likes and I'll do it in the next video. But I do want to give you guys just a little bit more of a peek of what I've done here. As you guys can see, there's been a lot of work here. And I'm getting a little bit of an FPS drop too, just because of how much stuff has been built here. But yeah, today we got a big project on our hands. And this is actually me from the future. I have already completed about half of it. And I'm now just getting around to recording the beginning part of this video. And the reason for that is because I originally wasn't thinking about making an actual video of this, but I mean, I decided why not? It's a big project. I feel like in the future, you know, if I want to watch it back, it'll be fun to, you know, be able to look over that time lapse and the whole process that went behind it. So the goal of today's video is to basically make a large blast explosion, specifically a nuclear explosion that covers my end portal so that I have a cooler way to go into the end. And I think this is the start of many big projects that will eventually take this world to the next level. So what materials do I need exactly, and how am I going to get them? The first block that I'm going to talk about is honey. I actually do want a lot of honey for this project, and yeah, it is pretty expensive, as you guys probably know. But yeah, also before I start talking about materials, this is actually where I had my iron farm before, so I don't know if you guys remember, but I kind of expanded this area a little bit just to house a couple more farms. But yeah, like I said, we do need a lot of honey for this build, so yeah, I had to make a bee breeder here, which is pretty much just a simple setup. You know, they come out of the bees' nests, and then, you know, you can easily breed them here, or you can breed the bees here. And eventually, when they're babies, they are able to squeeze between this gap in the wall and the glass blocks, so then they're able to kind of repopulate this. And then I would kind of go around and just break those hives and replace them with new ones. And that's how I expanded this bee population here. And of course, we needed those bees for this bee farm, which is pretty mega 64 hive bee farm. Even then, it takes a while to output the bottles. Yeah, but it is chugging away. And moving on, we have our basalt generator. Pretty much all you gotta do here is just stand here and mine away. And over here we got a bunch of orange sheep, which I needed a lot of orange wool for this build. The surprise block here is pumpkin. This is kind of half broken. Not really sure what happened with this minecart, and some of the other minecarts are a little bit loose too. So, but yeah, this was super efficient, and it got me a ton of pumpkins. Which, by the way, are actually quite a nice block. Even with that weird texture, they still work really amazing with the yellows and the oranges that I want to use. And some of the other blocks I had to gather were terracotta and concrete, which really I just had to grind for. And yeah, I did say I was gonna hit up the drown farm, so here we go. It looks really massive, but it actually only took probably about 45-ish minutes to build. This is also designed by ENXO4, the genius. And yeah, the reason I needed this was to get the nautilus shells for a conduit, which turned out to be really useful later. If it kind of feels like I rushed through that whole material gathering section of the video, it's because I kind of did. Like I said, I really didn't know that I was going to make this video until about halfway after I started the project, so if it's a little bit broken up, that's why. Also, just want to let you guys know, I am using a program called Lightmatica. It doesn't change anything. All it really does is let me know where to place the blocks, and it saves a ton of time because I'm not looking at reference images and trying to get the block placements correct. I don't use Easy Place or anything, so it is still a completely survival experience, but yeah, it just saves a lot of time when it comes to placing blocks and deciding where I want everything to go. But that's enough talking. It's time-lapse mode. here we are. I just wanted to take a break from the time lapse. You know, I don't want to just put you guys through literally like a 10-minute time lapse all at once. And yeah, I just want to appreciate the build and what it is so far, and talk about some of the things that I've done with it. Real quick though, you guys can see these chests are really starting to empty up. Some of these things, specifically the terracotta, I did have to refill. But yeah, otherwise I've actually been pretty good in terms of materials. Maybe because it's kind of just one layer versus having to really fill things up. But yeah, I have adjusted my game to 30% brightness, so I really do feel like it helps with the overall feel of the build, and yeah, it just makes my game look better overall. It has been a while since my last recording, and actually, speaking about time, just go over to my replay viewer real quick. Yeah, that's a lot of time. But let's talk about what's actually been done here. As you guys can see, we have a nice gradient going from these frog light, sandstone, glowstone colors, and these really bright yellow concretes and honey blocks into these darker orange terracottas and these red terracottas, and eventually into the black plume that will be built. And you guys can see the gradient also continues all the way up to this blast sphere. This is actually kind of a 2-layer arc. This top section is all of the colored blocks, and on the bottom we have these blackstone and basalt blocks, really providing the fumes and the ashes to really give this build even more depth and shadow when you look at it from on that side of the ocean. And yeah, you guys can really see that effect of the black, those darker blocks in combination with these lighter contrasting oranges and yellows. Now I'm super hyped to build out this next portion of the build. There's a lot of things that, you know, I debated, especially with the symmetry. That was one big thing that I was kind of working out in my head. And one thing interesting about the actual building process itself is the fact that a lot of this was underwater actually helped a lot. I mean, just being able to move vertically up and down versus having to jump around and worry about falling down all the time, it was just a massive time booster. I mean, I can't imagine how much time this would have taken if I were to build it on flat land. Also, just one more note, you know, it's been a while since I've done the YouTube thing, so I always forget to start and stop my replay mods at the right time. So if it's a little bit cutty during the time lapses itself, apologize for that, but hopefully I managed to work around it in the actual editing parts. But yeah, that's enough talking. Let's head over to phase 2 and wrap this thing up. Now, we aren't done yet, but we are getting really close now. The main structure is now fully done. So I really love how the outer ring came out. Not really sure what the technical term is for it. I guess you could call it a blast ring of some sort. I also finally moved my nether portal outside over here. This was kind of an interesting decision for me because it would have definitely been more convenient to have it over inside the core of the actual thing where the end portal is, because obviously I'll be coming through this nether portal and I'll want a pretty short distance just for convenience sake, but at the same time to build this entire thing and then to never actually see the build because I'm right next to the portal when I exit out of the nether would just make no sense. So I decided to move the portal over here to this island, and next step is gonna be to pretty much transform this island a little bit, make it look good. I'm thinking about also having a little bit of a bunker in there, so we'll see how that turns out. Ooh, and the night is actually when the build definitely shines the most, but I don't want to spoil that yet, so let me just sleep this off. The draining process for this project was just awful. I mean, when I started, I quickly realized how long it was going to take me, and I'd say that was probably the most time-consuming part, laying out all that sand and stuff. And I'm actually still left to drain the inside of that, which I'm really not looking forward to. It's all part of the grind. As you guys can see, I've incorporated a little bit of glass into this outer ring, just for a more translucent effect, a more hazy effect. I think you guys saw me destroy a couple icebergs during the time lapse. I have some of the ice down here. At some point I was just like, well, it doesn't really matter if I keep collecting it. I mean, at this point, I think that's enough ice for life. If I pull up my statistics times mined, yeah, 67,000 packed ice. That's a lot. Lastly, I broke another netherite pickaxe, and I didn't have enough netherite, and I didn't want to go and mine for it and stop building, so I just stuck with diamond. I made another pick. I do have to upgrade this later, but it's not really a big deal for right now. Now time to finish the building. Gonna build that bunker, this island, and of course the end portal room. And then hopefully I can get you guys some sick cinematics after. Okay, just kidding. I actually need a lot of black dye, and for that I'm gonna need a laze. So now I'm just flying out to an outpost to hopefully grab some allays, and then I'm also gonna be needing Skulk, so I'm gonna need to go into the deep dark for that. Okay, so if my calculations are right, and by that I mean if chunkbase.com's calculations are right, this should be a outpost, and actually I'm gonna put my chest plate on. Perfect. Okay, I think he needs these to be broken as well. And there we go. He's just gonna do everything for us. Okay, I just need to make sure that I don't kill the allays. So now I need to go to an ocean monument, and I'll cook up this farm. The ink farm has been mighty successful, and now I'm just gonna grab all this ink and we'll be off to the deep dark. Alright, I have most of the materials here. It might look a little bit overkill for just an interior, but I really don't want to make any second trips, so let's begin the final time lapse. hope you guys really enjoyed that cinematic. I think it turned out really well, and I just wanted to show you guys a couple more things about the build. I really love these palm trees, by the way. They were inspired by Corrales. Now, the first thing here is this bunker, and I was kind of thinking, well, yeah, obviously you guys can see the redstone is not very good. And yeah, it just pretty much stores my blue ice. And I guess my thought with this was, you know, this is a resort for a man that's witnessing the end of the world. And this is his only painting of the old world. I don't know, maybe it was some loved family member. But yeah, like I said, the redstone sucks here, so to get out, I pretty much just have to break out of here. And then also, you guys might have been wondering where exactly that I ended up putting the entrance to the room. And it's actually really hidden. Like, you pretty much can't tell until the very edge. There's actually a hole here, and then I can just fly in. And I really love the aesthetic of this room. A lot of this was just free-handed, so I'm just pretty thankful that it came out well. But I think I hear some music in the background over there, and that's going to be my cue to go. If you guys enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you shared it with a friend. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I promise you my videos won't clog up your feed. And also, if you guys have any ideas for a potential year project, because I still haven't decided what I'm going to do after this, be sure to drop those in the comment section. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next year.